Hey, welcome. This is a new show for us. I'm Steve with ActionNerd.com.
I'm Brandon with The Collectors, located in Lebanon, Tennessee.
And that's where we're at right now, so make sure you come out here. What's the address here?
It's 205 South Maple Street, Lebanon, Tennessee, 37087.
You got to get out here. Let's talk about new comics that you got going on.
Oh, well, first off, we got one of my favorites from the Ultimate Universe that have been really going pretty good. The Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimate X-Men, and then the Ultimate Black Panther. We got T'Challa in here trying to really figure out what it's like to be a king. You know, his kingdom's being threatened, and he really don't know what to do, and he's kind of facing attacks on different fronts, and he's got mixed feelings because he's married.
Yeah.
And, well, Storm has come into play, and she's kind of the new woman.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting that Black Panther.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Ultimate Spider-Man. I have not got into Black Panther yet, but Ultimate Spider-Man's been really good. But the sales for Ultimate Black Panther 1 are skyrocketing. So good book to grab as a collector. What else you got?
For sure. Well, next we have Marvel's new comic-wide event going across all of the comics. There is the Blood Hunt. And it's like a vampire event. And each individual hero, the Hulk, Wolverine, in their own issues, they're getting their own comics.
No, are they vampires?
Well, they're fighting vampires. And some of them will be turned in this event. So you got to really check the comics out. Doctor Strange, Strange Academy. I'll tell you, all of them have a Blood Hunt little issue going on with this.
Now, I've heard that you could get one of these on Free Comic Book Day.
That's true.
And then they also have a red band trailer. This red band trailer is something Marvel's going to start doing. It's going to be excessive gore, very, very mature. I think the cover of it shows it's an homage back to one of the EC comics of Thor's decapitated head being held on the cover. And so it's wrapped in a poly bag with a red band trailer cover over it. If you can find that, it was something like you had to get 25 of the variant just to qualify for that one cover. So it's hard to find, but that's something I would look for. Great issue, though. Blood Hunt 1.
That's very interesting, very interesting. Kind of reminds me of the zombie event they had.
Oh, yeah.
Up next, speaking of zombies, we have Weapon X-Men. Now, this is issue number 3. And this is very interesting because the Phoenix Force has taken Wolverines from different universes, and because they're the best at what they do, at hunting down enemies, she has hired them to hunt down Onslaught.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so she has them going. And the different Wolverines, it's kind of a hilarious dynamic with them because you have the old man Logan, you have the Weapon X Wolverine, which is like the one with the helmet, you know, the new one.
Yeah, with all the stuff hanging off.
Yeah. They have that one, and they have the, I don't know which one it was, the Ultimate Universe one where he lost his hand and he wears the blue and red.
Yep.
That one, but the funniest one is the zombie. They have a zombie Wolverine who's a part of the team.
That's great.
And yeah, it's a serious comic, but he makes it kind of funny in there. So I've really been enjoying this, the Weapon X-Men.
That's awesome. Now, is X-23 in this?
I haven't seen her yet, but there is a female version of Logan who's from like the early 1800s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so she's kind of old school, but that's the close up.
Definitely check that out.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. And from Dynamite Comics, they have been going back through our childhood from the 60s, 70s, and 80s and bringing back different cartoons and turning them into comics, from Thundercats to G.I. Joe to
Gargoyles. Was that Dynamite?
Gargoyles, yes. Gargoyles was Dynamite. That was awesome. Also, there's one more I'm missing. They did the Labyrinth, I think, didn't they? The Labyrinth?
Labyrinth was a reprint of the Marvel stuff. The original Labyrinth, yeah.
Well, the whole comic industry has taken us back from Image to Dynamite and all this stuff. But this one, they're pulling out Space Ghosts.
That's awesome.
Yes, old Space Ghosts. And this one had writer David Pepos.
Gotcha.
Who did The Punisher, and he's teaming up with the artist Jonathan Lau, who did Vampire Strikes, I think, or Vampirella Strikes.
Yeah. So this is not the Space Ghost comedy talk show cartoon that was on TV. This is back to... from what I understand, it's not, and I haven't read them yet. I did pick them all up from you. I picked up all the variants. This is more of a serious Space Ghost, and it starts with him being the hero that he is, not the little cartoon with the monkey and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
that's true, that's true.
It's a superhero story.
And it is more serious, kind of like along the lines with the rest of the comics. They kind of took that Saturday morning adventure out of it and put more stakes and made it a little more serious this time. So Space Ghost he's beefed up, he is punching people in the face, and
That's awesome.
He's the hero I've always wanted him to be. That's what I can say. First issue.
It's kind of like when they ruined Scooby-Doo, for those that are old like me, and they put Scrappy-Doo in it, ruined it completely. What else you got?
Well, my last thing I have today, which is very interesting, is Get Fury from Marvel Comics, but it's their Max Comics line. And what I've learned from Max Comics is that it's more gritty, it's more bloody.
Yeah.
There's a few more curse words than normal, but Get Fury is about, obviously, Nick Fury, and it's wrote by Garth Ennis, who did The Boys, The Preacher, Batman Reptilian, and he's teamed up with Jason Burrows and Guillermo. How you
say that twice, right?
Guillermo Ortego.
There you go.
And they both did Punisher, Soviet, Moon Knight, Lobo, stuff like that. But this one is about like the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
That Punisher and Fury were a part of. Well, Fury's group gets captured. And so the U.S. Army is scared that if they torture Fury, they're going to get some secrets out of him that could cost us the war. So they hire Frank Castle to do a secret kind of, these aren't orders, but they're orders type mission. And he has to go and kill Nick Fury. So
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting seeing that. And there's a scene in this one specifically where we get to see what happens if you're not important to the Viet Cong, because there's some soldiers in here that kind of run off at the mouth, and they're not Nick Fury, and they pay the price for it.
Yeah, I heard it's extremely violent. In fact, what I've read on this was it was more violent than the Red Band trailer comic we were talking about on Bloodline. That this one, you want the violence and stuff. This is the one. But think of it, Nick Fury and Frank Castle in the same thing.
Oh, it's
cool stuff. Very cool stuff.
And I want to say one more thing about this is that I'm so glad that they brought this Max Comics back out, because I don't want to say like the comic world is getting a little soft, but they're kind of stepping away from like this fantasy violence that we see. I know we see enough of it in the real world, but you don't get to read about it anymore. DC is taking the little guns out of their action figures, and the Red Hood, he's not as violent as he used to be. So this kind of takes me back to the fantasy comics I want to read.
There you go. Well, I've got one pick that was on your shelf that I love, and this is Amazing Spider-Man 47. This is one of the variants on it. The reason this is important to me is it's got my favorite new person, and gosh, if I could have found it faster, it's Hallows Eve. So Hallows Eve comes back, partners with Chasm, which is Ben Reilly, and this is the kind of stuff that I'm looking for, and I can't find the damn thing right now. Anyways, grab this Amazing Spider-Man 47 if you're still into Hallows Eve. Marvel's Legends released the Hallows Eve figures a month ago. They look fantastic. She had the one shot, she had her own mini-series, and then she also appeared in Amazing Spider-Man Annual. Great one to pick up and grab. Come on down to the collectors here in Lebanon. There's a lot of stuff on the shelf. We'll show you around just a little bit, but it's a really great place to hang out.
We got the wall of Marvel Legends here if you want to check these out. These are older little Marvel Legends, a little more pricey, but we got those combined with our Black Series and...
Well, I see a black cat.
Aww. These classic vintage Star Wars figures.
Yeah.
And Star Wars is on the rise. You want to come over here? We got a whole little Star Wars section over here with a little bit of Marvel Legends and Selects down at the bottom there.
Love the Selects.
Then we're going into our Marvel, DC, Star Wars Pops, Funko Pops.
Let me get up here. What are these?
Oh, this is the wall of Funko, okay?
Yeah.
You come on in, you make a purchase, you throw a dart at the wall, just buy whatever you hit. And then we step into the anime world a little bit with Dragon Ball Z statues. We got more Marvel Legends. These are on the cheaper end, so if you're looking to complete a collection, come on in and get those. We got our back orders over here, our back issues, And we got these filled up, waiting for you to come pick through them. We got recent back issues. Those are all the ones from just this year.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then we got Funkos galore. Okay, this is the Hall of Funkos, so check those out. And then we have our Transformers and DC toys, pretty much miscellaneous over here. We got some Spawn, some NECA. We got the classic little DC figures that come with a little mystery surprise in there for you.
There you go.
And then our DC comics up top, and they kind of bleed down into our other comic productions here. We got Image, Boom, Dynamite, IDW, Dark Horse. So check those out. We got a new Image Salmon Twitch has been pretty interesting.
Now that's a McFarlane title. It's a Spawn knockoff.
Yeah, it's a spinoff from Spawn. It's the detectives in there, Sam and Twitch, and they're solving crimes, but this time without Spawn in it. At least he hasn't been in there so far.
Gotcha. More pops.
More Funko Pops, and also our trade backs. Got a good line, a good variety of trade backs here. If you want to check those out, come on in. We're at 205 South Maple Street, Lebanon, Tennessee, 37087. You can follow us on Collector's Toys on Facebook and Instagram if you want to check us out there too. We got Grails, we've got classic statues, we got Pokemon, we got Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, you name it, man. Come on in. And if we don't have it, I'm sure we can get it for you.
Yeah, great place. Stop on by. You got to check it out. All right, so I wanted to show off some of the latest slabs that I've got. My big thing right now that I'm hooked on in this addiction of comics is picking up slabs. And I've got some new ones. I want to show them to you real quick. We're going to have to magically transport back to the slab vault, right? and then we'll be right back. Okay, we have entered the slab vault. We're going to start on this first shelf with some of my favorites. This is Alice Cooper by Marvel Comics. It's a 9/8, which is great. Actually, Marvel Premieres number 50. This was released to coincide with his album From the Inside, which was about him being committed by his wife and manager to go to a mental health institute, and this is an album about the folks in there, and they adapted it to the comic book. Great read, even better in a 9/8. Then of course it can't be missed, the Kiss Marvel Super Special. This is the first one in a 9/4. It was featured and hyped up to be printed in real Kiss blood, so many pictures of are in here of them donating a vial each of Ace, Peter, Gene, and Paul, dumping it in the red vat ink, and then they were printing it with that. The story has recently come out, though, that the printers screwed up and actually used that red ink in a different comic. So the Kiss blood did not actually go into the Kiss comic. Little trivia. And finally, our Kiss Kiss comic of the 9.2 Marvel Super Special. This was the second one. If you're getting this raw, make sure you grab one that has the fold-out poster in it. Otherwise, it's not as collectible. We'll go one more shelf down just to take a quick look because of all the hype with Godzilla. This was one of the comics that I actually bought off the rack. Not this exact one, but I did as a kid in 1977. So I would have been in 7th grade. That's how old I am. But Godzilla #1, 9/8 from Marvel Comics. And I like to collect like the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of everything. And so I've done that with Godzilla. Not worrying so much about the grades on that. There's a 5.0 on 2 and 8.0 on 3. And we get back there. It looks like another 5.0 on 4. Great stuff, but the covers are what I am attracted to. The memories and the covers. So it's not all about the greatest thing that you can find, but what you enjoyed as a kid or the art. So that's it from the slab vault. We're going to go back to the collectors. So thanks for joining us on our first show. Hopefully doing more of these monthly at least, and then if things work out, we'll go bi-weekly, weekly, not daily because we have real jobs, but we'll see what we can do. what's the big tagline? Subscribe, like,
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Give
let
it
us
all of it.
know. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you shortly.
That's right, guys. And keep on collecting.
Absolutely.